What's up YouTube, Adam here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you my full review of this, the LG G2. Just before we get started, to let you know this video is brought to you by buymobiles.net. For all of your smartphone and contract needs, go and check those guys out. You can even get a free PlayStation 4 with your next phone contract. I'll leave a link to all of their details down in the video description. Now into the review itself, and let's take a closer look at the actual design of the LG G2, because this is fundamentally different to almost every single phone, if not all phones that are out there on the market today. And the big thing that you will instantly notice is that there are no buttons all the way around the sides and the top and bottom of the LG G2, because they have been strategically placed on the back of the phone. Just below the camera on the back of the LG G2, we can see we have got a volume rocker up down button and also a standby on off button as well. Now for me, this wasn't a huge issue because of two reasons. The first one, your finger does seem to automatically fall into place to use those buttons. The only complaint being that sometimes you do smudge the camera when you're actually looking for the volume rocker. And in addition to that, the reason number two is because you can actually just double tap the front of the screen to bring it out of standby and also to put it back into standby. So some nice features, some nice changes. Does feel a little bit like they've done it for the sake of it, but it's a nice change, and I think it does add to the slickness of the phone that we haven't got any protruding buttons all the way around the outside. Now the actual quality of the camera itself, how good is it? It is a very good camera. Because of that optical image stabilization, it means that you're always going to get pin sharp photos, and because of that 13 megapixel sensor, it means that you're always going to get very, very good detail in all of those photos as well. Bring both of those together and it really does take some fantastic quality photos. In addition to that, an absolutely outstanding feature, this camera will take video at full 1080p at 60 frames per second. Also adding to that, you've got the ability to do HDR and obviously full stereo recording. This thing really is absolutely fantastic for both video and photos. The optical image stabilization on the photos and the videos really does help to give you a much sharper image. Now as we switch it round to the front, we can look at the screen itself, and the screen for me is absolutely fantastic. Not just because of the IPS panel that's inside it that gives great quality, great colour reproduction and great sharpness, but because of the tiny bezels that run down the left and the right hand side of the screen. What that means is that not only is the device kept smaller and feels extremely nice in the hand, but you also get this very submersive experience when you're using the phone, because the whole front of it is essentially a screen. I was really impressed with the fact that they managed to fit this huge 5.2 inch screen, keep a pixel density of 424 ppi and give such great quality. The screen is an absolutely awesome talking point around the LG G2. Now if we dive under the glass and start looking at the specifications inside, they continue to impress. We've got a Snapdragon 800 processor clocked at 2.26 GHz, and that is a quad-core processor. We've also got the Adreno 330 GPU, and also they've nicely chucked in a stereo FM radio with RDS. Now in terms of performance, what that means when you throw it all together is that this thing absolutely flies. Regardless of the heavy skin that has been placed on it by LG, the specifications of the phone really do mean that it can literally just chew up anything that you throw at it. Games, any kind of media, literally anything at all, the LG G2 copes with it absolutely phenomenally, and the performance of this phone is right up there with the very fastest of all smartphones. Now when we start to look at the actual software on the hardware itself, yes, LG have put the latest version of Android on here at the time, Jelly Bean, but one thing that they have done is they've put a very heavy skin over the top. Now although the skin doesn't seem to affect performance too much, to me it's not the most attractive of skins. A lot of it is quite cluttered, and there's also some kind of over exaggerated little effects as well that maybe they just didn't need to add. A lot of the actual features on the software itself have come from Samsung, and they've chucked a whole bunch of features in there that you will find on the Galaxy S4. But like I say, it could have been simplified, made just a little bit nicer and cleaner, and added to that user experience. Onto the battery, and the battery is a whopping 3000 milliamp hour battery. I find it absolutely astounding that they've managed to fit all of this into such a slim, small phone. Really is incredible, and that 3000 milliamp hour battery adds to all of the rest of the hardware and software features to complete this phone, meaning that you really do get a complete package with the LG G2. Now, just to sum up my overall feelings of the LG G2, I love the hardware. I think it's fantastic. It's a shame the build quality and the materials used weren't just a little bit better, but all of the actual hardware features that are in the phone, the camera, the screen, the battery, are absolutely phenomenal. This thing flies, has a great camera, a great screen, and those two small bezels around the outside really do make the user experience very, very nice indeed. My only downside to this is the skin that they've put over the top. Like I say, it doesn't seem to affect performance because this thing is just so fast, but it is kind of ugly. Anyway guys, that is obviously personal taste. Some of you guys may absolutely love it. Either way, it doesn't really matter because this is a phenomenal phone, and some of the prices you can get this for make it a very, very attractive proposition indeed. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Please do hit that like button for me, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya.